What the fuck you mean there's an airborne rodent disease that's killed 4 people on a cruise ship that got a 40% death rate? And they trying to figure out what to do. Figure out how to lead their ass out there. That's what you need to figure out. A 40% death rate? Let me help y'all with that decision. Sink that bitch. Sink that bitch. And from what I hear, tickets started at $13K. If you got $13K for a ticket, you can live 2 years on an island. Take that ass to a random island for a couple of years. They can start streaming. They could be the new Gilligan's Island. This is not the time to be bringing back a boat full of people who could possibly be carrying the Hantavirus with a 40% death rate that already killed 4 people. It's too much shit going on in this country. I'm sorry if it's your family members, but this shit is bigger than feelings. Say y'all goodbyes till they get this shit under control. We ain't dealing with no another coronavirus. Hell no. Don't bring them back here. Don't bring their ass back here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to yet another reaction video by Saleni. If you're new to this channel, or if it's your first time seeing me around this channel, kindly remember to push the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and also remember to share it around so that we keep growing as a family. So guys, today we have this very trending situation. I'd say this is not a topic anymore because this is something that is really growing to be something so big. And I will say the reactions that this is getting right now outside here, it is very serious, guys. Yeah, the Americans have said we survived one pandemic and now you guys are talking about the Hantavirus. Yeah, it's literally been only 6 years ago after losing people to this virus, and right now we are talking about a new virus. And also, to be specific, that we are not only talking about one virus right now. Yeah, the reactions are so hilarious. I would like you guys to pay attention to the videos that I'm going to play for you after this, and I would like to come back at the end with my commentaries, so pay attention as I come back at the end. Thank you.
I'm Black and I'm from Boston. I just want to say that I heard that there may be 2 people who were exposed to the Hantavirus living in Georgia being monitored. Baby, it takes about a month for those symptoms to show up. What are we doing? Because what we're not going to do is act like they didn't just tell us that the ship was over in quarantine over in Cape Verde or Cabo Verde, however you want to say it. Let me know in the comments below. But somehow that ship done got from Cape Verde to Georgia, like outside of Atlanta, Georgia. And now I know the news said that they're being monitored. However, baby, y'all also said that the symptoms could take up to 30 days to show up. So how did we get from Cape Verde to Georgia in less than the time period needed to properly assess if these mofos have Hantavirus? But y'all got them in the States. And if the cruise ship ain't what dropped them off and they took a plane, baby, if they took a plane, I'm going to be heated as a mug because it's going to be like y'all ain't learned nothing from COVID. And y'all just got people walking around here with a rodent droppings virus spreading it around the world.
All right, walk with me. I keep seeing all the Hantavirus updates, and maybe it's because I'm neurodivergent that this quite literally feels like 2 + 2 = 4. If you have a virus that has an almost 40% fatality rate, mind you, the flu and all these other viruses not even crossing 10, so 40 is extreme. Wouldn't you just quarantine the ship in the ocean for the duration of the incubation period and find out when patient 0 contracted the virus, so you can estimate the incubation period, and then a few days after the incubation period test all passengers before they can exit the ship, and then inform them to quarantine at home for an extra few days just to be safe? It's almost as if it's simple. And I know people are like, oh, they have human rights. What about our rights? What about, because my thing is making, what was it on, like, couple hundred people, however many people was on that ship, making them uncomfortable for a month versus millions of people potentially. My blood pressure going up.
We could have kept them people on that ship. Them people did not need to get off of their ship. Now they off the ship. We could have flew everything that they need, tissue, water, food. They could just had everything flown into them. Nobody had to ever make contact with them for like an additional 6 weeks. Now they off the fucking boat. Now they off the boat. One woman whose husband was on the boat, she already died. This woman, she was in South Africa. She flew on a commercial flight, meaning she came in contact with other people. Folks, somebody in Argentina has this virus is now on 3 different continents. It's in Africa, it's in Europe, and it's in South America. What the fuck? This was so easy. I mean, granted, yeah, we could have sank the ship. We could just went ahead and sank the ship. But we could just flew everything. Like, I'm trying to understand. In a country where nobody in the administration believes in vaccines, we have a growing population of people who refuse to vaccinate their children. Nobody believes in social distancing. He defunded the CDC. Doctors and nurses cannot find jobs. And they're forced to work like fast food jobs. Whole education just being squandered. What the fuck is going on? And people do not believe in social distancing. People believe that washing your hands and bathing regularly is performative. I swear I'm just going to hit the next person that.
As someone who has been living in the heart of New York City for the last 20 years, I have a question about this Hantavirus. I feel like the media is creating this mass hysteria over the Hantavirus. You know, 3 people died on the cruise ship from it, and now there are people on there that are now back in the US, I think in Virginia, Arizona, Texas, and they have it. So I just feel like this is a form of fear mongering. You know, by all means, I will never downplay a virus that has the potential to do harm to the masses like COVID did, you know. But really think about it. Why would the media put this information out? Like, why could they like keep this from us and just like isolate those people on the ship, quarantine them, and just monitor them without creating mass hysteria to the masses? Because I'm gonna say this, as someone who's been living in New York City for the last 20 years, listen to me. New York City is so overpopulated with rats. Do you hear me? There are more rats in New York City than there are people. Billions of rats everywhere. The probability, it's happened to me before, walking down the street at nighttime and a rat runs across your feet. It did happen to me. I screamed, oh God, it was, my soul jumped out of my body, but it happens all the time. Rats running out in front of you or across your feet, literally touching your feet. Okay. And not to mention when New York, we had the hurricane, I don't know if it was Hurricane Sandy, I forget which hurricane, it was so bad, we were flooded so bad. So when we get flooded, the rats come from underground. You know, they be in the subway and underground. Not when there's a flood or a hurricane, they have to come above ground level. So during the daytime, usually they come out at nighttime, but you know, and they disappear during the daytime. They don't come out in daylight. But when the hurricane hit and it floods, the rats come from underground during the daylight. So you're going to see squirrels and rats running all over. I went to the park the day after we had, was it Hurricane Sandy? I went to the park. I saw squirrels, pigeons, and rats running everywhere because underground was flooded. So here's the thing about this Hantavirus. Don't you think with New Yorkers being outpopulated by our own rats that live here, that we would have Hantavirus? Really think about it. I mean, we have rats everywhere, y'all. Rats, they run, you know, in the grocery stores. Oh, that's why we got the, you know, if you go into the bodega, the corner store, the bodega owners, they get the cat. You'll see a cat sitting on top of the bread. The cats are there to keep the rats and mice away because they'll run on top of the cans, the soda cans, the cans of soup. They'll wander around. So I'm like, out of all people, wouldn't New Yorkers have the Hantavirus since we have billions of rats running all over the place here already? It's just something to think about because I'm just like, why is the media creating all this hysteria over these people on the cruise ship? I think hantavirus is more common than we think it is, and a lot of people have had it and survived it, and maybe was misdiagnosed. I don't know. I don't trust the media. Y'all stay safe. Wear your mask. Wear your mask. You know, I'm just saying, New York is a dirty, nasty city. Any and everything you touch has germs, bacteria. You ride the subway, you touch. If you sit on the seats in the subway, the seats are disgusting. Everything has bacteria and germs. And trust me, a rat has ran over it or ran across it. Everything in New York. So I'm just like, why aren't New Yorkers plagued with hantavirus? Because we got more rats than any fucking body. Just something to think about. I don't trust the media.
They are lying to you about hantavirus. Here is what you hear over and over again. Hantavirus can't be spread person to person. It's very rare. Bullshit. The particular strain on this boat, the Andes strain, yeah, it spreads human to human. It's been spreading human to human. Out of 8 reported cases, there have been 3 deaths. An absolutely deadly virus. Here's the good news. You can stop this thing if you try. Here's why. COVID. When you had COVID, you could have it for weeks and not know. And while you didn't know, you could spread it. Hantavirus is different. It really only spreads when the person is showing symptoms. And so you could monitor symptoms, quarantine individuals, and stop the spread. Typical rates, COVID, 1 person would spread it to 2 to 4 people. Hantavirus, really 1 person spreads it to at most 1 person. But if you put in actual quarantine practices, you could lower the transmission rate significantly because you know who's spreading it. Guess where our fucking resources are in this country? Guess where our resources are to do work? Now, here's the good news. The good news is the World Cup is coming to the United States of America, which means we're going to have the greatest super spreader event for this deadly motherfucking virus. 3 out of 8 deaths. Are you fucking shitting me? The CDC disbanded the cruise ship infection unit. Are you fucking shitting me?
Hantavirus will spread. It absolutely will get worse. We are underprepared, we are underwarned, and we are under-resourced. You've heard of this cruise ship. It docks in Spain on Monday. 3 have already passed. 5 are confirmed sick. Dozens, potentially carrying a virus that we know spread person to person, are jumping off a cruise ship in just a few days. That has happened before exactly once in recorded history. I'm Rick Pescator. I'm an ER doctor, former state chief physician. I'm the editor-in-chief of Emergency Medicine News. I helped lead the national COVID response, both its wins and its failures. 30 passengers have already gotten off this boat. 6 are in California and Georgia and Arizona for a virus that hides in the body for up to a month and a half. We may not know who's infected until June. We didn't learn shit from the pandemic. We didn't build the system that's supposed to catch this. We took it apart. Every ER doctor in the country is supposed to get an alert when this happens. It's called a HAN, a Health Alert Network. But no alert has been sent. In March, the CDC quietly paused 20 tests for rare viruses. They've lost 3,000 employees. The disease detectives who are trained specifically for this, they're gone. We spent $1 trillion after COVID. We bought machines for viruses we already knew. We did not build what matters, the ability to make a new test fast when something shows up. There's a cruise ship right now in the Atlantic that's telling us that the lights are off at the CDC in Atlanta. This will spread, but we will find out late because the people who have been paid to watch have been told to shut up.
So the hantavirus has made it to France, and it infected a man who was never on the cruise ship. Apparently, this Frenchman was on the same flight that one of the people on the ship took to Johannesburg. And she took that flight after her husband had passed from the hantavirus on the boat. And they flew her to Johannesburg. And so he was on that same plane, and now he has hantavirus. And I know the experts have come out saying hantavirus doesn't spread that quickly. For it to spread between humans, you have to pretty much be very intimate with one another. But now this guy has it. So I'm not really clear how he got it if the hantavirus doesn't spread that quickly. I'm just hoping this isn't a suddenly mutated version that we haven't seen before. And yes, I know we've seen the hantavirus. We kind of know its patterns. We know we have to put people on a respirator, but we still don't have a cure for this disease. So if it does happen to mutate in any way and start spreading through the air, it is a disease that we don't have a cure for. Because I'm really intrigued to understand how this French national got the virus when he was never on the cruise ship. I'm just hoping it's not another COVID 2.0. Y'all have a good night.
Officials race to find 40 passengers who left the cruise ship with. Why the fuck? Why would the boat dock? Why y'all wouldn't have to find them if y'all would have just cut the ship off in the middle of the water to this blue oak? What is happening? It's so simple. Leave the people with the virus on the boat. If they need water, food, get a helicopter, go drop it down there on them. And just wait till their virus pass over. Why would you let the boat dock, let them get off the boat, and then say, we looking for 40 of them? What you looking for them for? They out here now, and 2 of them in Georgia. And what I need to know is, where y'all at in Georgia? So I can stay from around y'all. I don't want to go to no store y'all might go to. I don't want to go to no restaurant y'all might be at. I think y'all need to stay in the house. You don't need to go get gas for nothing. Don't go to work. I don't care. They say you're going to get fired. Just get fired. Listen, you are a risk to the public. This is pissing me off. Something ain't right.
I'm not one to fearmonger, but we can't let them people off that ship, especially us people in New York City. They got that Hantavirus from Argentina, where they're going to be having multiple games and with the World Cup, and they're bringing that to Kansas City and then to New York City. New York City is not ready for a Hantavirus, okay? We got people who refuse to pick up dog shit from their own dog. We walked around with dog shit on sidewalks and streets all winter long, okay? Not only that, the rat problem, the rat infestation, the way they said that this thing is spread is through rodents and possible person-to-person contact. We got people where you don't even know what type of filth somebody's living in New York City. No tea, no shade. But some people be really living in deplorable conditions in this city and you wouldn't even know it. They just be acting like mouse being in their house is just a normal everyday thing. Rodents being in their house is a normal everyday thing. Listen, New York City is not ready for no Hantavirus. Keep them people on the ship, okay? I'm sorry that y'all had to go through this, but it seemed like you had a great life to be able to afford a trip like that where you're leisurely going to remote islands.
So guys, first of all, why does every virus that is introduced to us, they always sound so villain, like a Transformers villain, guys? Why? Is it the COVID, monkeypox, hantavirus? They're always sounding so crazy whenever these guys introduce this virus to us, yeah? And for a moment, many people are very in disagreements. They are in disagreements, so many disagreements about this new virus, because many people are saying they survived through coronavirus, so nothing is going to take them down, no matter what virus they introduce this time, yeah? That's why you see other videos of people saying this ain't the time for another virus. Yeah, and is it true though? Is it another time for a new virus to be introduced to us? Or is it a way of these elites trying to control the population of the world? Because people are so emotional right now. They're emotionally buffering from the 2020 pandemic that was not so long ago. Yeah, right now we do have a new virus that is a threat. Yet the WHO is telling us that this is something that should never be a threat to us, or rather that is something that is going to bring a pandemic to us, so we should not be worried. And is it true? Because this is something they also said during the coronavirus, if you guys can remember. So the black folks on TikTok don't even panic normally. They roast it fast and research later. As you've seen from the videos, many are roasting this introduction of this virus. Like, they're making it a comedy gold from this. The reactions are so amazing. Yeah. See, this is happening for another time. Yeah. You're seeing people saying that the boat that had the infected people, they would have not come to the land, or rather, they will get their supplies flown to them. Or rather, others are saying that the boat should have been blown away to put us away from the risk of this new virus. Yeah. Low key though, the disease, the news is now completely different. After it's released, the news is completely different. How people are viewing this is really different from when COVID was introduced to us. Because others got their vaccinations, others didn't, but others did survive. Yeah. So it's a question of whether to really be afraid, or to just take this as a normal thing that these elites in the government are doing to us. Yeah. The internet always is going to have a crazy reaction about anything that pops out, guys. So I don't know, we should also take caution. That's one thing I'd say to everyone. We should take caution, don't take this lightly, because it might be an eruption later that we are not going to realize. Yeah, because the cases that so far have been reported is a thing to get worried about. So I would like to get your thoughts in the comment. Do you think that this is something that they're trying to do to control the population? Or do you think is something that they're trying to do to just fear monger about, to sell the fear amongst us? Yeah, I'd like to hear in the comment section, what do you think about this hantavirus, or what's your reaction to this? Until the next video, I'd like you to remember to push the subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and also remember to subscribe to the channel. Thank you.